Howdy, everybody. I'm Jason Salas, and hello, and we are glad that you are staying home and saving lives. And speaking of home, this is House to Home, where we talk about everything under the sun having to do with real estate, especially in these very, very odd times. So let me bring on my lovely, lovely co-host, as it were, and we do the slide-by-slide window right here, Liz and Gina from Remax Diamond Realty. Half a day, ladies, and thank you for joining me, as always.
Half a day, Jason.
Half a day. Thanks for
Okay.
having us.
And as you have said many, many times in the years that we've been doing this segment, a realtor's work never ends. But there are some restrictions that I wanted to kind of talk about because as we've learned in the news, and Liz, I'll throw this question at you first. And there are restrictions given the nature of the world these days that even if you're a property owner, that might be surprising to people who actually, who deal in real estate. Is that correct?
Yes. A lot of the realtors were up in flux about what they can and cannot do. So the Guam Association of Realtors put a list together that they sent forward to the Department of Revenue and Tax based on the governor's mandates. What can we and what can we not? What can we not do? And we were advised that we, of course, the mandate of staying home to save lives. We can't go out and do showings. We can open up, even though if we apply some safety measures in terms of our masks and no personal contact, but that is applicable as well to homeowners. If you're trying to rent your property or trying to sell your home, you cannot go to the property and actually open up and show it, even though you're not an agent. They're saying it is applicable to the property owner as well, that the rules of staying home is applied to them. And if they go out and opening, they are violating the governor's mandate. So we were trying to come up with ideas of how to safely show properties. But again, they came back saying you cannot show, even for property managers. If you're going out, it has to be an emergency measure. You can't do regular maintenance during this period. It just has to be something that is of an emergency nature. So again, going back to the owners, I want to stress that you cannot go out and open up your properties, even though you're in dire straits and that you need to rent your property.
That is interesting.
Allowing that. That's what they're putting out there. And even let's say you're a military tenant, you've been kicked off base, and you're going out there trying to find a place. They're saying the fact that you've left the base and you're operating on our side of the fence, they're saying that you are as well violating the governor's mandate because you're now on the Guam side, the territory side, in terms of following our rules and guidelines. So anyway, I know Gina and I both agree that some of these are extreme measures and we're not happy with it, but what else can we do? We're dictated by the Guam mandates by the governor.
Well,
and hopefully that obviously that's not going to be the case forever, and hopefully it won't be a mandate that's going to last a very, very long time.
Well, Jace, yes. My concern is this. In listening to the governor yesterday, she made it clear that she's not lifting this stay-at-home measure until May 5th, regardless of the testing. I mean, that's how it felt to me listening to her, is even if the testing continues to be zero, she doesn't want to lift this any earlier than May 5th. Okay, we'll deal with that. But then she went on to say that when she does lift this, there's still going to be some mandates in place. And my biggest concern, and it's been a concern from the beginning and it continues to be, is that I feel housing is essential. Whether you're looking at a house with an agent or you're looking at a house with an owner, finding a place, a safe, decent place to live is essential. It always has been. It is not now. And so we have situations where we have people that are being displaced. Whether they're getting kicked out of their hotels or they're getting kicked out of military barracks, to me is beside the point. They're being displaced. They're not going to have a place to live for whatever reason. And so, okay, realtors can't go out there and show properties. If an owner has a property and takes the precautions necessary, like pretend you're going grocery shopping. If we can safely go to the grocery store and buy food, I think we could safely show up at our own properties and show it to somebody who's being displaced and needs a decent home. I think people can reasonably do that without jeopardizing each other's lives.
Okay, and of course, the big thing is if everybody just did truly stay home and save lives, like we keep saying over and over and over, that is going to greatly shorten the time that everybody will have to stay home. So it's a virtuous cycle. So we don't have that much time left, but I want to talk about something because I've seen comments pop up in Twitter because in the initial days of the pandemic, everybody was talking about there is rent deferral as we talked about before, and there is you can't evict
More,
people in these very awkward times. But what about mortgages and forbearance lists?
yes. So, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, with the mortgages, they have to apply for it. I mean, it's not an automatic thing where you think your mortgage will not be deferred. They won't defer. You would have to go and apply for it. And and it varies from bank to bank. And it's just a question of which banks will do that. And more than likely, I would assume in our trying times that they would have something online. I know people have called Gina about this, and I'm not sure what they've done about that.
So in looking at I've gone online and I've checked with almost all the lenders. Every lender has a different forbearance program. It is not automatic for those people who heard the president and the governor and the Treasury Department, the Secretary of the Treasury talk about mortgage forbearance. It's not automatic. You've got to log on to your bank's individual portal, and then you can type on their mortgage forbearance, and they'll give you a name or a telephone number of somebody you can contact, and you actually need to contact and make arrangements. And I also want to say, for those of you who have automatic mortgage payments, who perhaps have forgotten that's automatic, and maybe you're in a position right now where you can't afford to have that payment going out, you need to act quickly and get online or call your bank and let them know that you need to, make other arrangements. But you have to apply, and it's not going to be the same for every lender or every type of loan. The
Okay, so I,
programs
th-
are
I
all
think that is
different.
the word we want to pass along. It's not
It's
automatic
not a
and it is not
guarantee.
universal. Okay,
Yes,
so
that's right.
tell you what, we have just scratched the surface. I know we could go on for this forever, but we are out of time right now. But I look forward to seeing you guys next week because I think I've seen 3 different rooms in your houses right now. So I'm getting I'm getting like a little ad hoc tour of your wonderful houses, and we're all staying home, of course, and that is the point. So hopefully next week you'll be able to show us another room.
Thank you.
For sure.
Okay,
Thank you,
all
Jason.
right. And if we could get a wave for
Stay
everybody out
safe.
there as we say goodbye. Bye, everybody.
Stay
Half a
safe.
day, everybody.